You know, your wedding day is a big blur, right? It just goes by so fast. Like that day went by so fast, but leading up to it, it was the scariest day of my life. My wife, the day we resigned, was 8 months pregnant with our 4th child. We had just built a nice new home. We owned real estate. I owned the building that our firm was in. So, you know, things had to go well, and it had to go perfectly well or it wouldn't have worked. And so I always tell people that are debating on this, we've helped clients start new law firms and different things and take that jump. And so I think it's important that when you do it, you have to bet on yourself. And the fears we put in our mind never blow up to the magnitude we put them in our mind to be. You just have to take a calculated risk. I'm not saying just take a jump and don't know what you're going to go do. I mean, there was hundreds of hours put into this thing, and late nights, early mornings, we would put the kids to bed and I'd hang out with my wife for a little bit. And it's like, all right, I'm going to my second job till 2 a.m. and getting this thing ready to rock and roll. And that day, I remember like it was yesterday. It was that moment of I had to go resign. And I remember I was just in this tunnel vision of like, all right, I got to go have a hard conversation. This is going to be terrible. And I went and had that conversation and then got lucky that I got to go back to my firm and tell everybody that I was leaving. And I'll never forget, a guy in the back in the room raises his hand and says, what about those people that want to go with Brett?
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I mean, it's like could have knocked me over with a feather. And so I wasn't able to say anything. So I didn't say a word. And then I left and I went to my country club and I got a big, huge circle table thinking hopefully people would come with me.
Oh my gosh.
And so for 15 minutes, I sat there and not a soul showed up. And I'm like, oh, this is awful. This is not going as planned. And I remember the first guy walking in and give him a big old hug. And he's like, all of them are behind me. They're all coming.
Wow.
And so we sat, you know, at that time was able to tell them the vision and what we were doing. And within 24 hours to 48 hours, 14 of those men and women made decisions to change their career and join us at Visionary. And it was amazing.